I want to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. Just a continuation of this little horse scene here. I like those two heads the way they're hanging down. See, I can see pictures in this. It's aggravating. If I had a zoom lens, but it's almost like it's a strange creature, you know, with like, you know, whatever many legs, and just at the right. Just a minute ago, the way that other horse had his head, it almost looked like it was just a two-head right there, two-headed horse. See, I could probably get this and just, you know, just use it as a still off of this video, but you sure lose the resolution, you know, when you get away from the Nikon. So, but this, like I said, I've got to start getting some video for whatever, YouTube or anything, and I'll get some stills, you know, when I can. It's hard, you can't do both. You can't really. I mean, I could set this back and you know, just get an overall look of everything, but I can't really zoom in and chase those little horses, you know, bucking each other and all that kind of stuff, and you know, and take still film at the same time. So we'll just. And really, this is kind of a lot of the same. So if I just get a few scenes of it, now those horses playing made it really nice. I mean, I'd still be chasing them if they were doing their thing, but they're already settled down, just eating. But yeah, catching them right time of the day when they're wanting to play like that would be some good. Especially if I could get that. Yeah, if I could have got that in a still. Them jumping at each other like that just been magical. I've seen it. I'm glad I'm starting to do some of this with video, because a lot of stuff I've been seeing I hadn't been able to capture. And of course, you know, you can't capture everything, but I tell you what, I put enough time out here. This is 11 months now, and I'm going on almost a year of being every day dealing with this. And I got more time now to deal with it, but I still have a landscaping business and trying to have just a photography studio to where I can do just work. I mean, I can. That thing's getting kind of frisky over there. I can do a little of both. You know, it wants to run around and show everybody how much it's got, what a big bright future it has. But you know, usually when a horse acts like that, to me, it's an act of leadership. You know, it's that thing right there, see, it wants to be noticed, so there's a reason for that. You know, humans, they want to be noticed. I don't know why. I'm my own worst enemy. I mean, I really, honestly, I don't really care what people think about me. I mean, you better really be there for yourself, honestly. You're there at the end, so don't ever, you know, really, I don't let it get me down. I'm so glad that I can, you know, just stay to myself and work through problems. I don't really need wishing somebody was going to help me. Those horses are so cool. Yeah, this is probably, they really made a better video this time around. And I'm going to come out here, though. This is just like a studio to me now, and I've been at the lake and I'm not burnt out, and I don't even really have any lake footage on YouTube, so I should have been getting that for a year, doing with both. But I've done this for a long time, or a lot, and it's been a while since I've done any really recording, but in my younger years I did. And this little coat's just walking across. But yeah, it's like a bicycle. You never really forget. It's just like the times I spent out in the field with my camera. You know, you just you retain that. No matter what happens, you still retain it. And I've been practicing a lot with just low light levels and stuff, you know, which I had never done, because I always worked in just, everything was automatic, you know, it's just auto-focused, you know, just put everything in perfect exposure. And when I started working in the artistic part of it, it just, you know, everything, most things are not at the right exposure, so to speak. Just get a little bit richer colors and stuff, if you will. Changes in balance a little bit, and so it's really a rendered piece of art. You know, it's not, my beach days, everything was just pretty much precise as it was, and it wasn't done in manual. So, but I've got a much better understanding about exposure, I can tell you this, because I must have taken, oh, I'd say 10,000 photos, maybe more than that, but I've ended up with about 750. It's on an online site, art site, old art site, and that's about the only place I am right now, in the process of maybe having just my own specific site I can have on cards and stuff. But yeah, I was going to come over here yesterday evening, and you know, because the lake just seemed like it wasn't going to have really some cool clouds, and it was Saturday, and I've been there so much, and I thought, you know, I want to come over here, and then I got to thinking, well, it's cloudy and the sun's actually dropping where the lake was yesterday, so I thought, you know, the light will be much better today, and sure enough, it is. I mean, I'd say it's probably around, I'd say about 10 o'clock on a Sunday here, and real pleasant day. Probably be more pleasant if I wouldn't talk. I think I'll just kind of shut it down for a second and just kind of swoop around and kind of think to myself here. I'm really just talking to myself at this point, you know, but as a producer, you always keep in mind that someday somebody will see stuff, so you really kind of just naturally kind of incorporate a conversation with your stuff. I like this angle of these fences. They make a nice picture, just the angles of them and stuff. Probably need to get up here and get a few pictures today, but anyway, let's just scan this for a little bit. And that poor little horse right there looks a little skinny. Might be real old. I know it's getting everything in the world it needs to be getting at this place. Might be an old horse. It's just got, I, 'cause, 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 ' I know one thing, if I was an old horse, this is where I'd want to be dying, I think. Just a nice owner and just a nice spread here. But I have a feeling it's just, you know, it's, some people just raise cows. They don't, it's not about the slaughtering them. Some don't even do that. And I'd be one of those, honestly, I'd have to be one of those people too. But that's kind of what he has here. This is just a preserve for these animals. I'm sure there's some sort of money that's made here, but it's obviously not like a commercial, you know, operation where it's just about making money for sure. He just enjoys these horses and everything, and I guess since there's not too many longhorn cattle, that might be, you know, I don't know all that much about them, but that might be kind of a way to keep them. Probably got away from them just because of the longhorns. You know, they just breeding for specialized purposes. You know, you're around those horns, I can only imagine. I guess they can always be like any farmer. I guess he can hone down those horns and not have them sharp, sticking out and all that kind of stuff. But they just started, I don't know about the meat production on them or really exactly what the value of a longhorn cow is like that, but I'm going to just shut this off right here because I don't want to have too long of a shoot, and I'll be back with you shortly.